Welcome to Central Port Coquitlam. We're standing in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit, full of lights. It's a corner unit, it's a sub-penthouse, almost 800 square feet in size, and it has 10-foot ceilings. The feeling inside is remarkable. So I encourage you to listen to the podcast about this location, about this unit, and then reach out and then we can get you in.
Okay, so we're back, and you know what that means. It's time for another deep dive.
Time to roll up our sleeves and get into the details.
All right, so you sent this listing over a new listing that caught your eye.
Always love to see what's popping up.
Yeah, so this one right away kind of jumped out at me. It's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms.
Yeah, standard.
Yeah, pretty standard corner unit, so lots of light, which is always a plus.
Good starting point for sure.
But here's the thing, 10-foot ceilings.
Ooh, that's not something you see every day.
No, not at all. I mean, usually you're looking at 8, maybe 9 feet if you're lucky.
Yeah, so that extra foot of space can really make a difference.
Huge difference. It just changes the whole feel of a room.
It's not just about square footage, it's about volume. You know, that sense of airiness and openness.
Exactly, and I'm curious how that would play into things like the acoustics or even just, heating and cooling.
Interesting point. Yeah, those higher ceilings could definitely affect how sound travels and how efficiently the space is heated or cooled.
All right, so let's get down to the specifics. This unit is at 2214 Kelly Avenue in Port Coquitlam.
Gotcha, Port Coquitlam, nice.
Yeah, and it's a 5-story building built 11 years ago. This unit is on the 4th floor. They're calling it a sub-penthouse.
Sub-penthouse, I like that, has a nice ring to it.
Right, so not quite the top, but pretty darn close. And we're looking at 795 square feet of living space.
Decent size, comfortable.
Yeah, and 11 years old, that tells you something about the neighborhood too.
Yeah, usually means things are fairly well established.
Okay, so the layout, bedrooms are on opposite sides, which is great for privacy.
Absolutely. A big plus for anyone sharing the space.
And get this, there's a wraparound balcony, almost 300 square feet.
Wow, that's like an extension of the living room practically. And being a corner unit, you're going to get multiple exposures of sunlight throughout the day.
Really makes the most of that outdoor space.
Totally transforms how you can use it.
Okay, so inside, they describe it as having a luxury kitchen, quartz countertops, laminate floors.
So kind of those modern touches that people are looking for.
Yeah, exactly. And, luxury is a subjective term, but quartz countertops are pretty much always a good thing.
Durable, easy to maintain. They've become pretty standard in newer builds.
And laminate flooring, it's a good balance of aesthetics and practicality.
Yeah, it's come a long way in terms of style and durability.
Okay, and here's a big one in terms of practicality. 2 parking stalls and a storage locker.
In this market, that's a huge selling point.
Absolutely. 2 parking spots, you don't see that very often, especially in condos.
Makes a big difference for families or anyone with multiple vehicles.
And that extra storage space, always a lifesaver.
Keeps the clutter down, frees up the living area.
All right, so now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the neighborhood.
Okay, the location, lifestyle stuff.
Right, because that's a huge part of the equation.
Absolutely. The listing mentions proximity to the Dimitri Schwartzman Trail.
Yes, this is amazing. It's a 25-kilometer trail system, runs right through Port Coquitlam.
So for anyone who loves the outdoors, that's a huge draw.
Huge. I mean, walking, biking, running, it's all right there.
And it's not just about exercise. It's about connecting with nature, de-stressing.
I completely agree. There's something about being in green spaces that just makes you feel better.
I like how you put that.
And there's more. It's also close to Gates Park.
Gates Park. I know that one. Lots of green space, sports fields, playgrounds.
Yeah, perfect for families. And then you've got the Port Coquitlam Community Center with the gym pool, all those amenities.
So you've got that sense of community right there at your fingertips.
Exactly. And if you want more of the urban scene, Coquitlam Center is just a short drive away.
So you've got that balance of nature and city life.
The best of both worlds.
All right, so to sum it all up for you, we've got a modern 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom corner unit, high ceilings, wraparound balcony, 2 parking stalls, storage locker.
And it's in a location that's close to nature trails, parks, community amenities, and still within easy reach of shopping and all that.
So it seems like it ticks a lot of boxes.
It really does, but here's the thing that I always find so interesting. We can talk about square footage and amenities all day long.
Right, but there's that intangible element.
Exactly. It's about how all those things come together to create a lifestyle.
It's about feeling how a space resonates with you.
And I think that's the question you have to ask yourself when you're looking at a place like this. Would those 10-foot ceilings really make a difference in how you feel in that space?
Would that easy access to the Travel Trail become a part of your daily routine.
And beyond the physical features, what else is important to you in a neighborhood, a community?
What are those less tangible factors that make a place feel like home?
It's something to think about, right? Because a home is more than just bricks and mortar.
It's about how you live your life.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Always a pleasure. And until next time, happy house hunting.
I hope you liked listening to the podcast and encourage you to reach out to me if it's something that you think is suitable for you, and we'll get you in. You get to experience this unit for yourself. Thanks very much.